You guys, to explain what's going on here before we get started, this is Jeremiah. He's a good friend of ours. We actually met him in the Jeep community as well. That rig has actually got an LS swap. Mind you, let's go back a little bit. That is his fresh build. He built that. It is an incredible build, by the way. But the thing is right here, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He slammed it in reverse because he almost lost it. This is what we all got talking about before we even came over to this off-road park. And I'm glad that we talked about it because it showed everybody exactly what to do and what not to do, because he knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly to throw it in reverse and save it. And so we are so fortunate that everything went well. And yeah, this is why we do these classes, you guys. This is what we call the edge of comfort. The edge of comfort, that's his edge of comfort. That doesn't mean it's going to be your edge of comfort or someone else's edge of comfort. Everybody has a different level of edge of comfort. And your edge of comfort will change as you get better and as you get more seat time. I still have a definite edge of comfort that I know where it is and what my line is and when to stop and when not, and when to keep going and when not to keep going. So people will learn this, and as you get out there and get more, I guess, seat time, because that's a big deal, right? So as you get more seat time, as you get more time behind the wheel and getting to know your rig, because if you change rigs, now things change again. It's like you're learning the rig all over again, but it doesn't mean you don't have those basic techniques. And that's what this class is all about. It was to talk about how and when to use the gas, how and when to use the brake, how and when to use neutral, when to use specific gears, and how to simultaneously use the brake and the gas at the same time to help in certain situations with certain builds and certain kind of situations. I will talk to you and check out the footage.
Out here is if you have the sway bars on, you'll probably pick a tire, versus if you take the sway bars off, you probably won't. Yeah, that is a game changer. A lot of people don't do that and they don't realize you need to. So if you have a sway bar and you need help disconnecting it, we'll help you. We have baling wires, zip ties, whatever. We'll help you get it up out of the way for today, and then when you're ready to leave, we'll get it back on so you're good for the highway.
Right. So another thing about sway bars, you guys, keep this in mind. It, like he says, it allows you to flex more, and all that means for you guys is you're not going to be picking a tire on the most simplest thing out there. I mean, if you go over something crooked and you don't articulate without your sway bars, you're going to pick a tire and you're not going to want to go do some of the more challenging things. Does that make sense?
Without lockers, you could do harder things if you have articulation. You don't need a locker.
That's another thing. So let's talk about lockers a little bit, you guys. Some people only have a front locker. Some people only have a rear locker. Some people are completely open. Some people have both. How many here have lockers, front and rear?
No.
Almost everybody? Okay.
Rear.
Only in the rear? Okay. So another thing that we're going to work on today is, I see it a lot, and even though I have lockers, I use this technique because it's helped me personally. It's the poor man locker. And all that means, you guys, is it's a double foot. You use brake and gas technique. You'll see it in our video that we post, you guys. We have a YouTube channel. We took a lady out by the name of Lisa Weetham. I don't know if some of you know her. She only had, did she have a rear?
She had a rear, yeah.
She had a rear locker, and you guys, she got up half of Wade's
She had a
World.
rear posi anyway.
She
I
did.
don't think she has a locker.
So she was just a little bit dumbfounded about. I said, "Hey, hit the gas with the brake. Don't have the brake all the way down. Just almost half, 3/4. Hit the gas a little bit, and you'll see the car move." But what's going to happen is going to trick that rear differential, that front differential to help you get over it. So that double foot, I use it whether or not I have lockers or not. It's so helpful when things just aren't going your way to help you kind of give you that extra go, if that makes sense.
In a
So we'll
manual,
show you
obviously,
that.
you can't do that. So,
Right.
I mean, so you guys with manuals,
You
yeah.
can use an emergency brake in a manual.
We've done that
just
before.
so
And our
you know.
sons, I've applied the e-brake just a hair, and you'll be surprised. It tricks the spider gear somehow. I don't know how, but
It
'cause I
works.
have the lockers for a long time now. But back when I didn't, and you would crawl up to stuff that you couldn't. Just somehow it tricks it to give you traction on the other tire. Yeah.
Okay, so anybody here have a PSC or hydrosis? Anybody? Okay, you? We know you have hydrosis. If you do not have hydrosis, you guys, your steering box is working double time. And what that means is when you're on a rock or you're stuck, your tire's up against a rock. The first thing you're going to want to do is somebody goes, "Go driver, go passenger," right? And you're going to try and do this while you're stopped. If you can help it, the best thing you can possibly do for your steering box is to move while turning. Because if you do not move while turning, you will break. Chances are you're going to break a sector shaft. They're not fun to change. You cannot weld them back together. And so we will be getting you out on a trailer, or somebody's going to have to come back and switch out your power steering box. It is one thing you do not want to do is turn while stopped if you can help it. Does that make sense? Okay.
Air down tires make it really hard to be turned.
And
especially
air
with
down
lockers.
tires
If you
make it
have lockers,
harder.
it's even worse.
So there's that, you guys. And then let's talk a little bit about, does anybody have, do you guys all know about tire pressure, what you typically run on your tires out here when you're out meals? You run 10? Does anybody have B-locks?
I do. That's why.
B-locks. Okay, cool. If you don't have B-locks, it's going to determine the width of your rim, the type of tire, the ply that your tire is on how low you can go. On my Nittos, when I had stock rims, you guys, my stock deep rims, I couldn't go any lower than 13. I went and ran Poison Spider, and I started losing a bead, and that's when I knew. So I backed off quickly, and I saved it. But that's just one thing you want to double check. Does anybody out here have air downs, and what do you use? You have all sorts of air downs? Does anybody have an air compressor out here?
I do. Yeah, I've got deflators and
Perfect.
compressor.
Yeah, so airing down's great, but if you don't have something to air up with on your way back, then you kind of have a problem.
Right.
So then you probably shouldn't go down to that 10 or 13.
Right.
It's going to wear your tires pretty bad
Go down to
all the way back.
maybe to 20 and you can get yourself to the gas station.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
but the
Done
performance
that before.
in an air down tire versus not, you're changing it widens your platform. The tire just spreads out, it grips, it molds over rocks.
Yeah, it's
You're-
like,
it's
it's
like
kind
a
of
donut.
like this, a rock
Yeah.
and a tire, or a rock and a tire.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Way
It's nice.
more grip. Plus it'll ride 10 times.
Oh yeah.
So
So
another
you'll save other parts.
yeah. So
Flat out is easy.
about that, we've actually had an experience, and that leads us to my next thing
Our
with
son.
air down tires. My son, my own son, that's 19 now. He's been in our car. He's been driving. I mean, he's there. They were in
Should
the
know
car
better.
seat when they were 1. He should have known better. He has a little YJ. He bought it from us. It's a little 2.4, 2.5 liter. He was out there. He chose not to air his tires down in Forest Lake. We're talking Forest Lake, guys, on a dirt road.
That
The
road's
dirt road
pretty
that we're
nasty.
coming out
I'm
here.
sure all you've been on. I know that road's getting pretty bad. The main road is getting pretty.
So he
Rough.
chose not to air down, and on our way out, you guys, the battery arced out and started fire. Because had he had aired down, it wouldn't have bounced things around enough. He would have been fine. We've had that thing on that trail with air down tires, never had an issue. But that's the whole thing about airing down. It's not just for comfort, guys. It's
Easier
to
on
save
components.
easier on the components. Things aren't going to arc out. You're not going to have a problem with electrical and all sorts of stuff. So that's kind of that. So just keep that in mind as well, guys. While we're out here, TJ and I will hopefully be spotting you, probably be more TJ than I, but keep in mind there's one spotter. There's going to be one spotter on you. There's going to be one spotter on someone else. But if you guys have a spotter, there is only one to be talking to at that time unless somebody's in your vehicle. Because what happens if you're hearing multiple people, you're going to get confused and things are going to go badly. We always ask that you have one spotter. If somebody's out there and you think somebody else is doing it wrong, they're spotting wrong, say something to the spotter. Don't say something to the person in the vehicle because you're going to confuse them. The other thing we ask you guys, when you're out there, you want to, when someone says go driver, we're not talking crank the wheel driver. We want you guys to make slow. We're talking creep slow
Minute movements.
Minute. Because if you make something too big, you can really cause a problem.
Body damage, get you off the line we need you on.
100%.
Now if we say hard driver, then yes, I want you to go hard driver. But if not, just little tiny movements.
And we're not just talking small movements and turning, you guys. We're talking small movements, gas, reverse, all that stuff, okay? When you guys are going down a very steep ledge, we all know gravity works with us sometimes and works against us in others. So if you guys, does anybody have like really high, I have 538s. Does who has, lower gears here? Who has 538s?
I have 538s.
Okay.
I have
488s. Does anybody have any different ones?
Oh, I got
538s? What do you got? 311s. Okay.
And some of us have 4-to-1 transfer
And
cases
some
also,
of us have
which
4 to
helps.
1, right?
Lower gears actually do help you.
That's an awesome thing.
Super slow.
So, you guys, I've learned a lot. So kind of the things I've learned is when you go down an obstacle, first gear with 538s or 4-to-1 transfer case can override your brakes. Which means when you go down an obstacle, and I've been there, I've done that, it really screwed me up coming down the Labyrinth Trail. And I was on the rim side, and it wasn't great. It sucked. My first gear overrode my brakes, and I came down really, really, really hard. And so the thing is that what you can do is you can put your car in neutral. You actually can put it in neutral coming down an extremely steep ledge. If it's not off camber, if you know your line's good, you know you're not going to pick a tire. And even if you do go in neutral, guys, and you're like, oh, it's off camber, have your hand on it. Like I told you, have your hand on that. Get ready to put it in drive and go. But the neutral is going to allow your brakes to work a lot. You're not going to have to stand on your brakes. Gravity is going to pull you down, but you're going to be able to bring it down as slow as possible. And that is the great thing about neutral. So that's just a little something that we've kind of learned over the years, and I kind of use it on a regular basis now. So DJ, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you're, so, I think we're pretty good. Ask for a new one, or, you know what I mean? You'll get a lot of hagglers out there, and you might be out there on your own. But if you just tell someone if they're not with it, you don't want them there.
Alright guys, so the Bronco you see here is absolutely amazing. We had the pleasure of meeting him and working with him, and he did absolutely awesome. Now this Bronco is built from the 9s. He bought it that way. It actually has a twin stick or an Atlas. I'm not sure exactly what's in it. I was out helping some others. Mind you, keep in mind this Bronco right here, being that he bought it that way, he's just starting to get into wheeling. And so I'm so glad we were able to catch this on film, because it really just goes to show there's so many people out there that buy a built rig and then want to go learn how to use it. And there are so many people out there, unfortunately, others that we've seen, that have actually taken their bought built rig out there and they are not familiar with how to operate the vehicle or drive the vehicle, and what ends up happening is not good, because half the time they are still learning about the vehicle, they're still learning how to utilize it, all the different things inside. That alone sometimes can be very overwhelming. So what I recommend to everybody is take your vehicles out. Obviously go with somebody that you trust and that is experienced enough. But we are so glad that we were able to work with him here, and he just killed it out there. He actually had a very good question. He did not know how to use his Atlas or his twin stick, and asked my husband, and the other helpers that came from Vernal and Brigham City to really answer those questions, so he knew how to use it, because he never really felt comfortable actually putting that Atlas or that twin stick to use, because he didn't know how and he didn't want to ruin it. So we were really thankful that he came out there and learned how that whole thing operated. You did great.
You're off the side a little bit, but you're all right. Straight up. Ready, Sue?
Ready?
I'm so glad Jared was able to come out. He owns this Cherokee and has done so much work to it, and it's absolutely awesome. Jared just learned so much out there. He actually did some obstacles that he thought he would never even attempt. But we started slow. We started on easy lines, worked our way up, and then this is where he ended up here. And ends up, he actually got up this puppy, and he said that he's only owned this Jeep for a year, and he doesn't really wheel hardly at all. So this is a big deal. This is the hardest obstacle he's ever done. Check it out.
This year in this car.
Ever?
I've only had it for, well, yeah, I've only had the car a year, but, right. That's probably the most fun I've ever had in this car. Amazing. Very, very fun.
Awesome. I'm so glad you had a great time.
Oh.
Heck yeah!
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the cable, huh?
Yeah. So all
I
this,
just came
all
over
this
last
bolt
night,
does
so
is
I
it
pushed
pushes
off my
that
dad.
C over.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Locker. It works.
Yeah,
Other
he
than
started
that,
yelling
like
at me
it
about
works almost
scratching my
identical to an
Jeep
ARB.
and that I don't take care of
It's
my
just
shit.
instead of
God.
using air to push that over,
Yeah,
you're
yeah, that
using
makes sense. That's awesome.
a
man.
cable, or in this case, it's a little
Well, yeah, I
spring in
thought
there.
about aux. I'm not an air fan, man. I'm not an air locker fan.
So how the hell do you
Yeah,
undo your?
electric.
Oh, that's f***ing just a bolt. And that's
So
it.
the aux usually has a cable.
Yeah.
So you,
The gears are warranted for 33s.
Yeah.
So like they have a tire size.
Oh, right,
But
yeah.
but if
That's
I
an
go
aux,
past
guys.
35,
So
then-
what
Yeah,
he's
maybe
doing,
that's what it is.
So-
he knows I'm past the tire size for the
Jared,
aux.
you take that out,
With
and then
my-
it just essentially takes the locker out, or what?
Yeah, so what's in here is there's inside the case is a little C that goes around the carrier.
Okay.
And all that needs to happen to lock the locker is that C needs to slide. There's a sleeve on the carrier that it slides in,
what?
and that locks it. And so all you got to do is push that C over. And so what an aux locker does is it uses a cable to push it. In my case, I'm lazy and I haven't hooked up the cable yet. And so what I've got,
You're doing a lot more work than I would do.
what I've got is this drive-away lock, and all it is a spring, and you put it.
If something happens, you're good to go.
Yeah, you put it in here and put this bolt down. The spring pushes the C over and it's locked.
I didn't
Pull
know
the spring back out, it's unlocked.
That's
good to know.
freaking awesome.
So
Yeah.
it's rock solid. So
Dude, that's freaking awesome.
I have to say thank you so much to Travis. This is one of our helpers that came out here and gave us a hand, you guys, with, you know, the 20 plus rigs that we had. He's absolutely insane, awesome. Travis, we really appreciate you. And not to mention, we had so much fun with Casey, and I think she had so much fun learning how to drive Gringo, which is that Jeep right there. So yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for your help.
So Jeremiah is going
I
up.
have to give a huge shout out. This is Jeremiah, and he came out all the way from Brigham City to give us a hand, but he also is learning his rig. You'll hear more about that in just a second.
Jeremiah's been wheeling with us now, and he is truly just trying to get used to it right now, and has grown so much since the last time, since when he started wheeling with us until now. It's been awesome.
So this is Jeremiah, you guys. This is actually a fresh build. It is absolutely incredible. It's got an LS in it, an LS swap with a whole Holley system in it. He just switched tires on there, got some bigger ones. He's actually getting ready to put an Atlas in it. But you guys are watching somebody that knows their stuff but has a fresh build. So that's also different too, in the sense that you are learning a new vehicle, and that means that you still have those basic skills, which he came out and helped us with these other rigs, because we knew that he has those skills to be able to share with others on the Dominators same page. But he does have a fresh build. He wanted to get it out there. He wanted to kind of get a feel for his rig, so he did. So afterwards, he kind of went out and put it up on some stuff just to kind of get an idea. And thank goodness, you know, we were all kind of there, because you just don't know the tipping point of a new rig, and you still have still trying to figure that stuff out. And as things kind of progressed, he did get in a wonky spot, and I'm kind of glad, because it actually shows the whole why we use reverse. If you start getting in a wonky spot and you pick a tire and you keep going, chances are what's going to happen, obviously depending on the obstacle, because it's not always true, but depending on the obstacle, your tire could keep picking and then essentially flip you over. A lot of people will either brake or they will keep gassing it, and sometimes going up an obstacle in that situation is not the best idea. So he did exactly the right thing by hitting reverse, gassing back out of it, and he saved it completely. So it was really, really awesome to see that.
Right there, stop. Fucking give her some guns, man! Woo! LS!
Right there, you're going.
I think the funny thing about all of this is I have more footage of the after show than the before show, just because we did have a lot less rigs. And for the people that were over at the other park just trying to get to know their vehicle, that like Jared and them, you know, they ended up feeling comfortable enough to kind of come play with us on the bigger stuff afterwards. And for the others, they ended up going home. But again, kind of going back to my whole unfortunate thing, we just don't have hardly any footage of that. And I'm so sad, because that's why we did all of this in the first place. So anyways, you guys, that's just kind of me letting you know what's going on.
Woo! Nice job! This is making lines again. Don't dump that shit.
Yeah, your front's gonna start climbing here in a minute. You good?
Well, that's the first time this fucker's ever died.
Not good.
Back off. Well, it feels good right there. I mean, I don't know. This one's not going to climb. It's going to drop. I don't like it. It says it's going to keep climbing a little bit.
Yeah, your tire's already up, bud.
Yeah, that one's not going to climb. That's what I'm worried about. Drop down. It's all over here. Right there.
Travis's ideas.
There you go.
He's still gonna pick a little bit, maybe not. Oh shit. He might pick a tire right there though. Careful. That's it. Sweet. Perfect damn line. Nice job, Travis.
That's a good butt shot.
Yeah, I'm getting that butt shot.
Check my ass out! Oh, I can hear her.
All right, now I gotta try it, damn it. That sucks. Son of a bitch. So you guys, we have had a fantastic time. We feel like a lot of people have learned a lot of things. They have had a chance to practice behind the wheel, and one of them is Trent right here. He is unfortunately having some trouble with his power stroke, and so we're pulling some codes. We're helping him pull some codes on his tuner that he has to kind of see where we can start and what it might be, but he may just have to just give him a tow home. So no man left behind. That's what it's all about, is the double Dominator way. But check out that XJ back there. Freaking thing is rad. It's got a hybrid, you guys, it's got a hybrid cage. And what I mean by that is it's an interior versus exterior cage. So it goes into the interior, right, Brent? Tell me all about your rig, dude.
So I bought it mostly done. It's got a 488 in the rear, high pinion 30 in the front, still 410s. Rear's welded, the front has an ARB. It's on about 7.5, 8 inches of lift. Just finished putting the hybrid cage on it with the windshield spreader. I added some additional triangulation in on the B hoop.
That's freaking awesome.
Then
let's check out that cage. I've never seen anything like that until just now. Check this out, guys. Where did you buy the cage from? You said you bought it and they kind of welded together, or what did you do?
Yeah, I bought a kit from ExoFab online, and I think their prices went up directly after I bought mine. They probably realized they weren't making money on it. But I think now it's about $1,100, and it comes pre-bent, pre-notched, everything. And,
sweet.
Instructions on how to put it together and where to drill your holes through the roof and all that.
It's freaking
kind of stuff.
awesome. Let me show you guys really quick. Check that out. It goes right into the body, you guys, and then let's see this. I gotta see this thing. This thing's insane awesome. Look at that. That is definitely like super stout, dude. Like, you're so safe in there, it's not even funny. Like,
it should take a pretty good hit if I have to.
Look at that. This thing's rad. Oh my gosh, you need to get some little handles for everybody back there, huh? Like, so they can hang on.
Yep.
Like, what do they call them? Oh shit handles?
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Oh shit handles.
Yeah, my wife wanted 5-point harnesses, and so I said, okay, that's fine.
There you go. You have the same seats TJ does. That's freaking rad. That's awesome.
It's a fun Jeep.
It looks really fun. That's freaking awesome, dude. Okay, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and hit Trent's truck with some ether now to see if he can start it. All right, you want him to go?
All right, let's see what it does. It'll take a minute.
Come on, baby. It does not want to go. So Austin's up there picking up all the nails. You can see him out there with a little nail roller. He's trying to get all the nails so we can save people's tires, which is kind of nice because there is a ton of nails out here. So it's picking up a lot of them, which is freaking awesome. This is the training area, and you can go from wild, like super wild, to like mediocre, to a little bit kind of something, and then super easy. And then you have the easier lines over here. So more of just kind of a, hey, I can probably climb up that without lockers kind of way. So that's a lot of fun. We had a fantastic turnout. I've kind of been running around. Double Dominators! Jeremiah's officially a part of our pain in the ass group. So you guys, right there, this is the big playground. So you can go from super, super wild to super, super mild, which is super awesome for sure. So we have half our group out here still, guys, and our other half went over to the playground and some of them left. But we do hope that everybody had a fantastic time, and I hope everybody took something from this class. And if you did take the class, you guys, please give us a review. Tell us how we did. Tell us what we could do better, and tell us what you liked about it. So next year we can make arrangements to improve so you guys get the best class possible. So we'll talk to you guys later. We did so we are getting ready to go. There's Daryl. There goes Trent. He has to drive the Jeep, and then we're coming out Monday to rescue your truck.
That's the point of bringing 2 vehicles. Then you should be able to at least make one home.
Are you going to make it to your appointment?
I should.
Good. Fantastic.
It'll be close, but
Awesome. Well, drive safe.
thank you.
Knuckles up, dude.
Thanks for doing this.
Freaking awesome. I hope you learned a little something.
I did.
Come out with us and we'll do some more.
Yeah.
You'll have fun.
Need to implement all the things that were taught today.
There you go. There you go. A little bit of practice and now a little bit more.
Exactly.
We'll talk to you later. So just want to jump on here, you guys. We also had Super Wrench Auto out here today, you guys, with all their rigs, all their family, and Dr. Jeep as well. And so I hope that they had a great time, and thanks so much for sponsoring our event. You guys freaking rock, and we can't thank you enough. There's not very much footage, unfortunately, due to the fact that we had about 20 rigs. So, and all 20 rigs were kind of going at this. We did have some people kind of show up late, so it did kind of, it just kind of throw us for a little loop, but we did our very best, and I'm hoping next year will be even better. So I think next year we'll probably have to cap it off at about 10. So that will allow the experience to be just that much better and a little bit more personal time with everybody. So that's the only thing I wish we could have done a little bit better, is a lot more personal time with everybody, and it just wasn't, it wasn't something we could like possibly finagle at this point. So thanks so much for everybody to come out, and you guys all dominate the hills absolutely fantastically. I'm so excited to see where everyone goes from here, and I'm so excited to see what tips, tricks, and techniques, how that affected you and how it will help you in the hills as well. So we'll talk to you all later, and I can't wait for tips, tricks, and techniques 102. Talk to you guys later. Peace out. Hey, Dominators.
Hey, Dominators.
Hey guys, we are jumping on here real quick. We're all done with the event. It went absolutely freaking rad, and I think a lot of people had some fun, and I'm hoping not just that, but learned and took at least one thing away from what we did today. So if you took one thing away from what we did today, because we did a few things, then I feel like TJ here, Daryl, Jeremiah, Travis has all done their job at that point.
Austin.
Little Dominator Austin right here. Check this out. This man right here is getting too tall for me. But he also drove the vehicles as well, guys, and he helped out a ton with a lot of stuff. We got everything done, you guys, and the event, I think, was a success. I am my biggest critique. So I personally had something else in mind, but you know what? We had a lot of rigs, and these guys did a fantastic job at maneuvering every last one of them. It was super rad. I can't wait to do another one based on everybody's experience and all the reviews. And if you guys did like it, please jump on our YouTube channel, because it'll be there for you guys to check out. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and come dominate with us, guys.
And notification bell.
Notification bell. Bye.